Maddie Simon of Switzerland. Now, this is the first look we've had at the downhill. Now, a number of the women fell, lots of them having problems. Simon is safely through. It's definitely getting faster as the temperature drops here in Korea. And I think that was a wise decision from Simon, just to kill the speed before he hit the top of the steeper section of downhill. It comes down in 2 steps, and both of them turn slightly to the right. But the mistake a number of women made was to take the first section very quick, and then they just didn't have an opportunity because of the snow conditions. A snow plough is pretty much out of the question once you're on the steeper section. So you've got to decide what speed you want to hit the initial part of the downhill. Simmons going well. 5:56 from shoot-off is certainly achievable. Probably take him 35 seconds to settle, clear the targets, and get out of the range. I think he'll be 10 seconds or so behind if he does that as his normal pace. Thomas Sikora just settling for his first shoot as well. Nadia Bilova watching on. She's you saw her just behind her scope, coaching the Polish team. Sikora actually trains himself nowadays, takes himself off on his own. That's one of the big changes he's made this summer. Changed his skis, changed his technique, and changed his training environment. My goodness, has it worked. Lying second in the World Cup standings. Oh, throws number 5 wide. That would have been a blisteringly quick time from Sikora. Shoot-off is safe in the lead, and Sikora now has 150 metres of penalty to pay. That might kill his chances of taking the world title in the sprint. He's been on the circuit for 16 years. He took the world title in the individual at the World Championships back in 1995. Yes, 1995, when he won his first title. Astonishing stuff. Here he is going for it again now. Prima of Ukraine. Some 25 seconds down on the best at 2 kilometers. He shot well, he shot fast, he shot accurately, and Prima will, I think, maybe just about improve. He may stay the same, but 6:11 from Clegg is safe, 6:13 from Jay is safe, but a top 7-8 position is possible. Sikora's gone out in 5th, despite the fact that he's paid a penalty. He flew around the loop. Here's our first faller, or is it? Could well be Jeremy Thiele from... Ooh. That is a big fall, number 14. In fact, it's not, I keep getting the USA and the Brits mixed up. That is Lee Jackson from Great Britain, and it looks to me as though he's either broken the buttock, he might even have broken the stock of his rifle with that fall. That was not a good fall, and it's pretty much put him out of the race. We'll see if he continues. There will be a spare rifle in the British camp for him to draw on. Martinelli, 4 out of 4 so far. Slightly slower than the best, but a 5 out of 5 stands him in good stead. Excellent shooting from Martinelli. Kevin Kane going 39 for Great Britain. Further down the order, we have Pete Beyer, who goes 89. And then in group number 4, the last of the Brits racing today, Simon Allenson, starting number 95. Villamo in for his standing shoot. This is where he's had problems this year. Only a hit rate of 65%. think he'd be happy with 4 of the 5. He's got them. Good shooting to finish with from Villemot, but 2 misses in the prone will put him out of contention. Here we go with number 43, none other than Mickey Grice, one of the top favourites for victory today. He won the first event of the season in Östersund, Mickey Grice. He hasn't won since then, and he is eager to prove himself here today. Germany already with a success, gold medal in the women's sprint. Paavo Puranen clear in the prone. Just looking away from the sights just to rest the eye. Just sharpens up the focus when he returns to the 2 ring sights. You make a circle between your thumb and forefinger on both hands, put one behind the other and look through them. That's pretty much what these guys are seeing. And hopefully they see a nice clear black dot in the distance, which is the target. So Puranen makes mistakes on his standing shoot. He was a little unlucky. The wind is strong at the moment. Robin Clegg has either got to be patient or he's got to be very, very steady. There's the first miss for Clegg. Needs these last 2 to give himself a good start in the pursuit tomorrow. Oh, he's thrown number 5 wide as well. So 300 metres to ski for Robin Clegg. What a shame. It was looking so good early on. Now, Vincent Jay, not a pretty sight. And often indicating that the lungs aren't in optimal condition when there's a lot of phlegm around the face. We've often seen it from Bjorndalen in the past. %87% hit rate so far in this position for the season. So, good mature performance there from Jay. Missing the first one is very unnerving, but he's hit the remaining 4, and at 23, he's still very much in the early days of his career. First of the Germans to hit the firing point, Alexander Wulff of Germany, obviously. 5:52. Wow, Schudoff's time of 5:56 is looking very, very rapid indeed. Well, that's pretty much average at the moment, 4 out of 5 in these windy conditions. Anyone who shoots clear should be able to ski themselves into the top 10 whatever today. Darius Emlier hits 3 out of 5, a man who's usually very accurate in the prone position. He's really struggled with those positions, perhaps rushing it a little. So Wulff starting in Group 1 for... in fact, Wulff in Group 2. None of the Germans starting in Group 1, as is their right. And they've chosen Groups 3 and 4 for their big names. Last of the Germans away will be Christoph Steffen, who's having a very good season indeed, lying 14th in the World Cup standings and becoming a regular feature in the German relay team. Well, those flags tell the story here in Pyeong Chang. It is very windy indeed, blowing at 23 kilometers per hour earlier on this morning. And at the moment, to make it even harder, the wind strength is fluctuating and changing in direction. So they've got to be very, very alert indeed. I think you'll see a number of the top athletes starting later who have spent an extra 2 or 3 seconds just taking in the conditions to make sure that they've got the sights correct. 39 there, Kevin Kane for Great Britain, shooting in the prone position. Bad news if you're supporting Lee Jackson. He's taken a big fall on the first loop, and from what I can see, he has damaged his rifle, and I think that is going to mean he is out of the race. Has he picked up a spare? I'll have to let you know a little bit later on. Latvia hoping for World Cup points from these races. Slightly unusual that World Cup points awarded in the World Championships, but that's the way it is in biathlon. Now, Mickey Grice, what can he do today? Many saying that he's on very good form at the moment. Deciding to go reasonably early on, Mickey Grice. Star of the 2006 Winter Olympics, 3 golds to his name. The sprint was the one race where he really did underperform, finishing 33rd on that occasion. One miss from Mickey Grice. Does it put him out of the running? He would have been very close to Shoot-Off's time, but he's not managed to maintain it. So 150 meters to go. It will take him some 21 seconds. He's going to be a good 25, maybe even 30 seconds off the pace after the first shoot. The early starters coming into the finish now. René Laurent Villemoe is going to set the leading time of just over 26 minutes. Can he beat 26:30? Winning time at the last World Championships in Östersund, 22:25. So you can see the margin of difference there. Big moment for Shoot-Off. Clear in the prone, leading after that first shoot. If he hits 5, he puts himself in an incredibly strong position to retain the title. He's the only non-Norwegian to have won a sprint so far this season, and Shoot-Off has laid down the mark. That is going to take some beating. 20:41 from Villemoe. He's going to be over a minute inside that, almost a minute and a half clear of the next best. Shoot-Off has had a flyer, 10 out of 10 with the shooting, a little bit of a delay on the standing shoot, but nothing too significant. 1:30.5 inside, and Russia looking good for a medal, if not the gold one. Well, today is one of those days where the distribution of the top performers really does make an interesting situation. As I mentioned, only 1 or 2 of the top stars going in Group 1, the likes of Shoot-Off and Sikora, many of them favouring the last group, thinking that the snow conditions are going to get quicker and the wind is going to die down. Now, that is what normally happens, but the weather here in Pyeong Chang has been anything but normal for this time of the year. Yesterday, 16 degrees, gale force winds and rain that would suit a monsoon. And that is the worst possible combination for getting rid of the snow, as it has done. As you can see, there's all we've got is the tracks and what they've got in the stadium. All this, every single flake of it was laid down last night. They brought in 500 people, some saying it was close to 600, and I wouldn't doubt it, because there were plenty of volunteers. They weren't wasting time counting them. They were just putting them to work to get all the snow down in position. They've done a remarkable job overnight. They were on the verge of cancelling the event last night, but well, it's been raceable. 1 or 2 athletes who've taken falls may argue with that. Now, what did the Austrians manage to do? They really did take us by surprise in Antolz, the last round of the World Cups. They were all skiing well, and in particular, Simon Eder, son of the coach, has earned his position. He was given one final chance to produce a podium finish, and he did exactly that.